welcome everybody. Thank you for being patient. Like I mentioned at the start, a couple recurring faces, which is awesome. Thank you for jumping in. But a lot of new faces too, which is great as well. So this is the 40K to 400K, Shopify workshop, and I don't want you to kind of get scared by that name. We're throwing some big numbers out there, and if you're not doing 40K to 400K yet, don't worry. This is definitely going to be a great session for you. And I do want to make a disclaimer quickly that we do use these sessions for marketing purposes moving forward. This means they'll be on YouTube, they'll be on Facebook. We'll clip it up and use it for ads every now and then. So if you are not okay with that, completely fine. I just want you to make sure that you keep your camera off and that you stay muted and keep your interactions lower if possible, because we do use this for marketing purposes. So just keep that in mind. If you're comfortable with it, though, perfect, no problems there. But this is the last chance. We don't do any post editing for this. So a couple things I just want to run through, although you guys have already been doing great at this anyway. So put away the next 60 or so minutes. The turnout today could go a little bit longer. So if you can put away 70 minutes or so, that'd be awesome. Get rid of as many distractions as possible. Like Paul, I think he said he locked up his kids in the garage, although I think it was a joke. But try and put this away so we can really focus. I see a lot of cameras and a lot of faces. Lovely. The more we got, the better for the session. It's just we try to make these very interactive. So we love seeing faces if possible. And lastly is a lot of you already have as well, which is great. So to make things a lot easier when we go through this, we'd love for you to use the chat function in Zoom a lot to make this a lot more interactive. We do ask a lot of questions and give a lot of feedback. So just go ahead and use the chat function for any questions. And of course, we'll bring people off mute when we can. But just to double check that makes sense for everyone and we're all good to go, can you please just leave a yes in the chat box so I know that we kind of get how it works and then we can move forward. But if not, then I can quickly explain things if I have to. So let's have a see. Yeah, we got yep from Gumshi, yes from Paul. Beautiful. Yep. Yes. Lovely. Love a good reactive crowd. I can't hear you, Andrew says. Okay, Andrew, that's going to be... You can't hear me, so...
It's
Maybe
an
Chris
Andrew
McLean, could you
problem.
just message
I,
Andrew and just let him know that it's probably on his end?
yeah,
All
we can
right.
hear you.
Perfect. Yes, gentlemen, that's okay, Carolyn. So a couple of goals for everyone today, some things I want you to walk away from today from the session. And the first one's going to be all about how to turn more browsers into buyers. So in e-commerce and in Shopify, what this is really referring to is what we call conversion rate. And conversion rate simply is, say 100 people come to your website and one buys from you, that's a 1% conversion rate. Now, if you had 100 people visit and you had 3 sales, that's a 3% conversion rate. So something we're really, really big on is conversion rate optimization, which is basically getting that number as high as possible. And we're going to show you how we do that with our websites today. Second bit is going to be, we're actually going to look at some websites that might already be running ads as well. And we're going to show you what we think might be broken that is causing those ads to potentially not get the results that you want. You might be doing the ads yourself. You might have an agency that's just not getting you results, or you did in the past. Or maybe you're learning to do ads for the first time and you're thinking about getting traffic in general and you don't want to waste that traffic. We're going to go over that too. And lastly, I want you guys to leave with a practical plan. So we always get really, really clear when it comes to strategy on our 30, 60, 90 days of what's ahead of us to see results. And I want you to walk away from this knowing what you got to work on to grow your business, whether you've started one already or whether you're looking to start one. So a couple of things I want to run through. Typically when I talk to people about these sessions, sorry, I'll go back. One of the things I hear, or one of the things I notice that people really want to know is basically, is this going to work for me? Is this worth my time? And typically when I kind of break it down a little bit more, it goes into 3 kind of, particular types of that question. The first one is, I sell an interesting product. Is this going to work in my niche? And just to let you know, we've worked with just about every niche and with every brand that there is to work with. And guys, this is practiced across all these different niches and it still works. If you're selling products online, what we're going to go through today will be, relevant and practical for you. And will it be relevant at your size? So I think I mentioned this at the start. We get a funny mix of, some people here are scaling their businesses. Some people are just starting, don't even have products yet. And that's both are fine. It's completely fine. Anywhere in between is completely fine. So when we work with brands that are scaling, that are doing 50K to 100K plus, that want to get to say 500K a month, typically the stuff that we help them really nail and get really hands-on and do for them, it's the same things that we teach as fundamentals to people who are just starting, so you can do things correctly from the get-go. So even if you're just starting, yes, this is going to be completely relevant for you. So we've got Deb there in the waiting room. Let her in.
I
And
wouldn't mind.
lastly, is this going to work now? A very important question that you should always be asking whenever you're seeking information. Is it relevant or is it just regurgitated stuff from 2017? We'll clarify this in a minute when I kind of introduce Paul. But everything that we do is backed up by all the brands that we work with. So we coach brands, we grow brands, we build websites. Everything that we teach you is directly from what gets us result with these brands every single day. So yes, it is relevant for 2026 and will stay relevant every single year. And there's a few people that typically we like to work with the best because these are the people that we feel like we've seen. Well, it's not we feel like, it's just from doing this for a while. We've noticed this is who we get the best kind of results with. And typically it's going to be people who are passionate about this business, and that can be a couple different things, a couple where places you draw passion from. It might just be that you're passionate about business in general. You've always wanted to run your own business, and you're really having a crack at this with e-commerce. Maybe you're passionate about the actual product that you're selling, and you just want to get it out there more. That's awesome too. Or maybe that you're just passionate about building a legacy that you can leave for your kids or whatever it may be, in the future. That's great too. As long as you understand that and you know that this is what you want to do, then you're the perfect person for the session. You're the kind of person that we want to help. Secondly, is you probably come into e-commerce, or maybe you've been running it for a while and you're trying to scale, and you've kind of figured there's so many different moving parts, and I can't possibly be a specialist at all these. So it feels like I'm spinning plates and I just can't keep up. It's a really common feeling, guys, and it's really something that we kind of help people nail. And this is kind of why we do that really strategic planning, because it helps people to overcome that overwhelm when you know exactly what it is you have to work on and when. And lastly, this is for people who, if we're being very honest with ourselves, we're doing this because at the end of the day, we want to make money. We want to be able to build a life that we love. So if you're someone who, as you grow your business, you want to make sure that you're really profitable, that you're not just spending money on ads, on your manufacturers, on ad costs and things like this, management fees and employees, etc., that you actually have money at the end of the month to take home and you can build a lifestyle that you love. This is definitely going to be for you. So I want to introduce Paul quickly. Paul runs both our businesses, the e-commerce circle and the insightful, e-commerce agency on Shopify. And I'm just going to have him come on and basically say this is why you should spend the next hour or so with us. So, Paul, if you want to take over.
All good. Thanks, Chris. So thanks, guys, for jumping on and enjoying your Wednesday evening with us. So as per the slide, so I started my walk-on business back when I was 16, so a very long time ago, back in 1996. So um, I grew that business to 2014 when I sold it to an ASX company, and I made lots and lots of mistakes and figured all of this stuff out along the journey. So it's been an interesting journey for me. So, and then I'd say in 2015, I started Insightful, which is our e-commerce agency where we build probably about 100 and something Shopify sites a year. I co-founded the Ecom Circle with Chris McQueen, who's a guy with a beret and the world's most magnificent mustache that you can see there. We started that about 2 to 3 years ago, Chris, I think it was. So we nearly have 400 people in the community now. So they're 6, 7, and 8 figure brands. And I'd say we started, sorry, at the Ecom Circle because as a dad, I've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I think it's really important that you build a business that you are not chained to your desk, basically, right? Because a lot of people waste a lot of time building their brands and they never kind of figure it out. So my mission has basically been for a very long time now to enable people to build high converting Shopify sites and then get the best possible coaching and mentoring advice when it comes to actually building their brand. Because having done this for 25 years, I've built teams with freelancers and contractors and employees and agencies and so forth. And I've, sold pretty much anything you can imagine on the internet or help people do that. And I like to pride myself on the fact that I can take most people's ecom problems and solve them very quickly. And I like to share that. And I realized about probably 2 years ago that the best way to share that is like in a one-to-many kind of capacity where I can get on a call and be like, hey, there's 50 people in the call and go, hey, guys, this is what you should be doing. Everyone's like, cool, I understand what I need to do now. They go away, they do it, they come back, they figure out the next thing versus going to YouTube and TikTok and wherever else you get your information online and trying to piecemeal it all together and you're just like spinning the wheels. So that's why I do what I do. That's why the guys are here on the journey with us to help you guys build the best possible ecom brands that you can. So ultimately you make a ton of money, have a lot of fun, and, like Chris said before, just leave a legacy for, something incredible that you've all built. So
Awesome. Yeah,
back
cheers.
to you, Chris.
No worries. These are just a couple screenshots, guys. These are just from our back ends of some of the Shopify accounts that we work with. So I know some people don't hold too much stock to these, but I don't want you to kind of look at these numbers and think, oh, that's too much or maybe too little for some brands. But I just want to kind of give you an example of like this is stuff that's really happening in the back end. I think this is just taken from a couple weeks ago, but I do want to run you through some case studies as well. So this is Steve from Holdcom. Steve came to us. He was running. Well, Holdcom is a business where you can see here they sell high quality Holden Commodore parts for people who are into that car scene. But he was doing about 170K a month, I think, when he came to us. So already a really, really up and running business. Kind of did everything himself though at that point, and he realized that he got to the point where there was only so much he could do himself. And that's where he got in touch with us. And for us, we looked at a couple key things in terms of how the website converted and his actual digital traffic strategy. We tweaked that around. We managed to get him from 170K 10 months ago to 280K months that he's doing recently. Of course, this is on the bigger end, and I want to share a couple with you guys that are on maybe some of the smaller ends when they started with us. This is Paul and Delane from Nature's Pantry. Now, this lovely couple, they were grinding out markets every week, doing they were selling their protein and collagen products, really great products, and they were doing maybe about 8K a month. And they knew they had something there, but for them to grow the business, they had to go online and they had to really, they knew the website had to happen and they had to get ads going. So those are the two things we really nailed for them. And, these two simple things with a product that already worked. Within about 4 or 5 months, they were doing 50K a month. And then you can see this is taken as of, I think, February, or this is Jan, sorry, of this year. That was just in January alone, they did 120K. And now they're kind of like, they've built their business to how they like it. They're happy with their growth. They got their 2 kids. They got a lovely lifestyle. And they're just kind of rocking for now. And yeah, it's been a pretty awesome ride with them. But then even on a small scale than that. Someone like Karen, who see these little teacups here, if you can. This is her website, which she built without help, by the way. She makes these by hand. And this isn't to say that you have to make things by hand, guys, but this is just some of the brands that we've worked with. And Karen was selling these on Etsy, doing about 2 or 3K a month. Now, Karen's, like it says here, this is all things that she's told us. So I'm not just writing this for no reason, but she's in her 60s, admittedly very not techie at all. And she was sick of being on Etsy because it wasn't a great way to grow. We helped her to come over to Shopify, helped her to build this website, and at the moment she's doing about 15K a month, as opposed to the 2 to 3K a month that she was doing back then when she was on Etsy. So she's having an awesome year so far, and we're looking to really get that scaling this year as well with her. And then someone like Jade, you might be thinking, well, look, I don't make my own products. I have no time to figure out how to make my own products. Completely fine, guys. Jade came to one of these workshops about 12 months ago. Now, Jade is a mother of two. I think she was a full-time physiotherapist at the time. I think she still has a job, and I think she's still
Yeah,
scouting
she
for
does.
business. Yeah,
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 I was
she does.
talking
So
to her
she's a
recently.
full-time physio, has 2 little kids, and she didn't even have a product yet. She came to one of these sessions, listened to some of our advice, picked a product based on the criteria that we gave her, and since then, for herself, she comes into the e-commerce circle that we mentioned before, and for her, she doesn't even have time to come to the calls during the day. So what she does is she just listens to the recordings in between putting her kids to bed and going to sleep. And just by following those alone, she's managed to grow this business to the point where last I checked, that was a couple months ago, she was doing 15K a month. I'm sure it's increased since then. And now she's building this business, which she loves. And as you can see, it's really about something that she was passionate in. She helps, I believe, it's women with their pelvic floor journey, like when they're pregnant, and that's what a business is all about. So, guys, this is just to say that it doesn't matter where you are right now. If you have a goal to build an e-commerce business, then it's definitely doable, and you are in the right place right now. And I'm just going to be very honest with our unhidden agenda. Obviously, we do this for free. This workshop, Paul spares an hour or so of his time every week to do this, and our goal here is to just help as many of you as possible. But to be honest, we want to be able to work with you as well after this. So I'm going to ask the permission first, if you don't mind. At the end of this session, if we give you a lot of value and you're happy with how it went, do you mind if we actually share with you how you can continue to get our support afterwards? I just want to get a yes or a no in chat. If you're happy with it, perfect. Leave a yes so I know. If not, no problem. I won't hold you here. You can leave anytime you want, obviously. Yes from Carolyn. Thank you very much, Carolyn. Yes from
All
Shanae.
the
Yes,
yeses.
Kylie. Yes, Samantha. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Yes, Mel. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, guys. Perfect. Thanks so much. In that case, we'll crack into it a little bit. And while I still got you guys interactive, if you can share with us, this is just going to help me give you feedback throughout the session to know kind of where is the audience at in general, because we do get a mix of people here. Where in your stage of your Shopify business journey are you? If you're just at a startup, that's completely fine. Don't feel nervous to say that. And if you're scaling up, as well on the same end. Don't be afraid to share that if you're open to it. But let us know so we know roughly, kind of what size businesses we're dealing with. As I've set up last year, cool. Maybe startup, cool. Yeah, little startups, it's completely fine. Yeah, beautiful. Sorry, what was this button list? I've set up a journaling focused stationery store. Okay, lovely. Yeah, so we're in the startup there. 10 months startup online, 3 years for dev with Shopify, then had other websites over time. Yeah, no worries. 1 year, definitely startup, no worries. Cool. That's absolutely fine, guys. And we're definitely going to get a lot out of this session for all the people who are in startups as well. 1 week live. All right, let's go. That's fun.
1 week, brand newbie.
Yeah, the brand,
Sweet.
the brand is
Love
the
it.
brand newbies. 2 or 3 sales per month. Yeah, lovely, lovely. Keep
Samantha
sharing,
had
guys.
three
I'm going to
sales.
continue. You keep sharing that there. I love seeing the interactions, though. So when we kind of run through these things, people kind of accuse us of just relying on luck when we get these results. But to be frank, luck can't get you consistent results over every different niche. It just it doesn't work. What we have is a proven, repetitive system that we apply for every person that we work with. So even if you're a brand that comes to us and you're looking to scale, it is this same framework, this more orders model that you're seeing now that we actually help implement for brands to scale. And if you're someone who's coming to us who wants to learn how to start your own e-commerce business and grow it, it's the same things that we teach you as principles. So before we jump into it, I want to actually kind of give you guys a chance to guess the triangle, the more orders model, that represents the three different kind of pillars that we focus on when we help any brand to scale. I want you guys to guess, what do you think each of these three sides are? We like to usually play a bit of hangman. Now, I am going to give you a bit of a clue. Everything starts with S and T. I'm going to give him the T anyway, Paul, just get him along with it. Each of these
Yeah,
start with
thanks.
S and T. What do you think each three of these sides are, each of these pillars? I want you to have a couple guesses, no bad guesses. I just want to see where we all are as a unit here with this audience. So help me out. Give me
So
a couple
everyone
guesses.
knows how to play hangman, yeah? Before people start saying random words. So they all start with S. And then the second letter is T. And then you need to fill in the next one. Have you been here before?
Guys,
Don't cheat.
Carolyn.
Caroline, just
Is this
dropping
your
it.
first time in this one, Carolyn? Because you've nailed two of them, store and
You got two
strategy.
of
Yep.
them. We've
Bang.
got MVP already.
There's one more, guys. There's one more. We got store and strategy. Sales is the result of this, Deb, but I like to guess. So the third one, this is how we talk about us as a business and a brand to our audience. So we're sharing something with us. Starts with S and T. What could it be? 5 letters.
Nailed it. There we go. I reckon we've had some people here
Yeah,
before.
I think we have a couple
It's never
repeats.
happened before.
Completely
Always got
fine.
very
I
friendly
love it, and you're
people.
completely right. So it's store, story, and strategy, guys. If I go to this next slide, it should show you. So I'm going to break down what these three mean first, and then we're going to grab a couple websites, and Paul's going to audit the website and show you how to implement these three things into your business and how to grow it from there. So when I say store, it takes me back to conversion rate and conversion rate optimization. It's something that a lot of people kind of look past, and it's one of the places where look, we work with small Aussie brands, and we don't have unlimited amounts of money to spend on ads and traffic. So when we work with people, it's important that when people land on their website, or we do spend that money to get people to our website, that they actually do convert into sales. It might sound, really obvious, but a lot of people do this the wrong way around. A lot of people start off by creating a store that's not optimized for conversions and sending traffic to that store, and then they lose money because they're not converting it, and then they go, shit, this isn't going to work. This e-commerce thing, it's not going to work for me. And it's just because you didn't focus on conversion rate optimization. So this is something that we are very, very big on. It's how we create websites that are built to convert, that actually turn people who visit your website into customers. And we're going to show you what that's all about when we get someone's website up. But the second bit, story. This is all about brand messaging and brand communication. Essentially, it's the actual words that we use that go on our website, that go on our social media platforms, that go on our email marketing, go everywhere we exist to convey who we are, what we do, and why someone should be spending their hard-earned money with us and not going to our competitors or price shopping us. So you got to think, guys, a lot of people kind of pick products that, it doesn't have to be the most unique product in the world, but if you can't convince people why they should buy from you and not just go to Temu and buy it cheaper, then you're going to have problems. Even if they're not doing it yet, someone might see you succeeding down the track. They'll come around and they'll just say, hey, I'm going to sell that same product and I'm going to spend more on ads and I'm going to undercut in price and I'm just going to beat you because you don't have a story. There's no one connected to your actual brand. So that's something we're massive on, and we're also going to look at that someone's brand today. And lastly is the strategy bit. This is, look, it's pretty straightforward, but a lot of people skip this. This is simply breaking down into actionable steps how we are going to grow this business over the next 90, 180, 270, and 360 days. And the more clear you get with this, the easier it is to kind of ignore the noise and just focus on what is the needle moving things that I need to get done in my business. So we're going to help someone, actually maybe even two people today, to nail these three things for them. And everyone else who's watching along, I want you to, as we give feedback, to think actively, how could I do this for my business? Or if you're just new, think about how you could start doing this for a business that you're about to grow. So with that being said, Paul, I'll bring you back on, and I think we'll pick a couple. Well, if you've seen any that you like, we'll pick a couple and bring them up.
Yeah, I reckon we can go with, I can't pronounce this, Milifor, someone can pronounce this, milifiamo.com.au.
Is it
So
the
if that
fragrance?
person is here, you can probably pronounce that better, Chris. Or Chris, you're fancy
Chili
than I am.
Fiori Milano.
There we go.
There you go. Nailed it. Is that yours, Carol? Is this your brand, Caroline?
Yes, we're
All right.
we're the Australian distributor.
Oh, right. Okay. So, Chris, you can turn your slides off, and I'm going to turn my screen on, and you can give us the big spiel about this brand, and then we're going to get stuck into it and tell you all the things that you need to be doing better. So, over to you. So make it count, because everyone on YouTube is going to see it, and it's going to be in other locations. And
I don't know if I'm not sure whether our owners in Italy would like that. That's the reason I turned my camera off. I'm not sure whether they would. Yeah, so I might not be the brand to pick for this. I would love to do it with you, but I think because we're a distributor, it might be.
We'll connect
tricky
afterwards, Carolyn, and then Caroline or Carolyn. I want to say it correctly.
Caroline, thank you.
Caroline, no worries, Caroline. So look, we'll connect afterwards and we'll organise that. I respect that. Yeah. I appreciate you telling us that now before we spend the whole session on your business.
All right, cool. Who's plan B then? Let's have a look. Who else did you have?
There was a couple. There was Kylie's here that was good. There's a lot that were good. I have to scroll up so high.
We've got.
There's a car brand.
We're going to do it for Capture, because I purchased from Capture yesterday. So,
it's a cool business.
Samantha, are you there? Hopefully Samantha's there.
I think she might have been in the car as well, not 100%.
Oh, okay. All right. We're going to keep going
until we'll keep going until we pick someone who's ready.
Going good so far. I will say this brand here is Samantha and her son just started the brand. So this is free publicity for them. So he's started this brand where he sells hats and is giving a big percentage of the profit that he makes from the hats to, I forget where it is, Melbourne Mission, a charity in Melbourne or something. So I purchased 3 hats from him yesterday, and we're actually going to go and help completely rebuild their website for them, because 10-year-old having a crack building an e-com brand, that's my jam. So if Sam does come back, we'll get into it. So go for a third person. So
third best. I'm just scrolling up. We did a Kylie with Kylie's of Fashion. I think
there was a car brand you like the look of, Paul?
Which one was that? Let's go.
What are accessories?
We got wines. Wines is like probably not. You know what? Yeah. Sorry about this, guys. Usually we wear much. What's this one? All right, jewelry. All right, is this person here?
Ariane, are you around? I think I did call them out earlier and didn't get a response. Are you around? Can you come off mute? I see you here.
Otherwise, I'm just going to go to the pub and just come back tomorrow or something. We got 3 from 3. So here's your chance. If you've got a brand and you're like, I don't think my store is good, throw it in, and I'm just going to pick the first 2 people.
Oh, I've seen Ariane come off mute. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
There we are.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So here's your chance. We'll try again. Third time. So give us the pitch on this brand, why you started it, who it's for, all that good fun stuff.
So today I have really bad flu and barely talk and coughing.
Oh, okay, no worries. Thank you for sharing, Ariane. We're gonna go. We're gonna put the fourth. I've had this many links.
Fourth time lucky.
All right, I'm going to have a look. Francis, you are quite engaged today. And who else is there? Have you got a website, Francis? Please tell me you do. Please turn mute off if you
Beeswax.
Beeswax Farms, Lizzie.
All right.
Yeah.
And we got plenty of experience in the beeswax.
So Francis can talk. She's not going to get in trouble by international distributor. And let's try. We'll give this a crack. Okay. For the 46th time. Francis, your turn now. Tell us all about your business.
All right. So I I sell beeswax balms, and they're made with all natural ingredients: cocoa butter, shea butter, sweet almond oil, and beeswax is a very big, important component of the balms. I do unscented and scented. The scented are scented with essential oils, and the unscented are left with a beautiful beeswax and cocoa butter aroma. So same base in all my balms, and the story, a bit of the story is that I'm a mum of 7 children. Would you believe? Yes, 7 children, 5 boys.
No TV at Francis's house.
They're all grown up now, thank heavens.
Okay.
But 5 sons, would you believe, and then 2 daughters. Anyway, when they were young, I used to make beautiful essential oil soaps. Don't know where I found the time, but I did. Anyway, then I started making a balm, which was great for their mozzie bites. And then my aunties and some of my cousins who had eczema found that this balm was just amazing on their eczema, you know. Anyway, so long story short, I stopped making the balm because I got distracted. And then I had, friends and family saying, oh, really need that balm again. And anyway, so eventually, just recently, I thought, right, I'm going to I had time in my life now where I can give this a crack because I'm only working 3 days a week in a 9 to 5.
Yep.
And, and the other thing was we were on a family holiday. We once a year we go out to this place, and it's on the coast. And we all stay in these cabins there, and the sandflies are terrible anyway. And the big joke was someone had 1 tin left that had for, what did we work it out? It was over 15 years, this tin. And they were joking about, what was it? I think it was up to $99 for a dab. Anyway, because, they treated it. Anyway, so long story short, I've gone back into doing it. And I've spent a fair bit of time on, nice images and all the rest, and learning how to resize them down. But I just don't know how to get customers, to my site.
Thank you for sharing that. That's all right. Well, let's get into it for you. So, here's where we're at the moment. We've got a bit of AI images going on and so forth by the looks of it. So now, here's where we're going to start. So as we spoke about before, the biggest thing that you've got to focus on for a brand like yours at the moment is people, and I'm doing this on desktop, obviously, but this is the space that you're dealing with when it comes to people reading your stuff on your site, right? So you got to put everything in a logical order that people can see the story properly, and then they can see all of the elements on your website that aid conversion. So what we're going to do here is got lots of text that's different sizes and all kinds of things. I'm going to show you what a really good kind of maybe even a honey website looks like, because we made a whole bunch of honey and sites like that. And then I'll go see the difference between what you're doing, what you've done, and what you need to do. So, but first off, let's start with the story. So now the first thing that we need to do here, there's a thing called a H1 tag, and that just means heading 1, right? And it's big because it's the most important text on your website. Then we have what's called a H2, right? Now, heading 2 is the second most important thing that you've got on your website. So now what we need to occur when we do those 2 things is, number 1, people need to read them, and they need, in their brain, they need to go, yes, 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 yes. Because the more yeses that you get as they're reading the H1 and they're reading the H2, the more they are likely to come and buy your stuff, right? So the ultimate goal in this section of your website, so I mean, even like the section up here, and there's going to be things down here, excuse my beautiful drawing, but these things are called trust statements, right? And let's assume we have, 6 of them. So people come through and they read this and they read this and they read all that and they go, yes, 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 yes. And the more yeses you get, the more likely people are to do something. Same when you talk to your husband, right? Or your partner or whatever. The more time you get him to say, yes, 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 eventually he's going to do it, right? So let's do this exercise for you. And what I am going to do is, first, I'm going to nuke my beautiful drawing and I'm going to come over to here. So this is a system that we've built that enables people like you guys to use it to actually do your own H1s, right? So we're going to come into here, and I'm going to, first what I'm going to do is go, I need to work on my H1 and H2s for my website because Paul told me to. So just as a quick introduction, so I built this system. It's basically my brain that's gone into hundreds of GPTs, and it'll help you do this stuff, right? It's got all kinds of guardrails around it, so it doesn't give you stupid answers. So let's have a look at this and see where we get to. So, and it's going to probably give me like a few different H1s and H2s as well. So, and whilst we're doing that, I'm going to bring up another tool. So actually another client site. So Chris, what's Zara's website again? Like Sacred Bull or something, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Sacred Bull. So, all right. Now, different space to you, obviously, right? They sell soap, right? And you sell beeswax. Similar, very similar things. So for context, this person is a member of our community already, right? They've gone through our training. They've done everything. So for example, this is her H1 tag on her homepage, right? And here's her H2 tag. So you read that and you're like, oh, conscious warrior, organic tallow, self-care. What are people going to read that? And if they're in the space where they want to buy like beef tallow soap, which is all the rage at the moment, people go, yeah, that sounds really good. They scroll down here, they go, that sounds really good, right? And Chris mentioned a few other brands before, such as, who do we have? Chris, like Nature's Pantry Supplies.
Yep.
I'll load them up because I want to show you a few different examples here. So Nature's Pantry Supply, and then they sell collagen products, right? So you land on their website, oh, Australia's cleanest collagen products. You go, yeah, I want that, right? And then you go, there's the H2. It's for active Aussie families. You know, you search for clean quality, affordable daily nutrition. It ends here. So you go, great. Yes, I do want that. I want the other thing. And this is a repeating pattern that we have across all of our client sites. So now, if you come back to here, for example, these are the things that I'm talking about that are called trust statements, right? So you read that and you go, yes, it's made for Aussie families. It's, you know, pure ingredients. It's affordable and it's 100% clean and healthy. So we'll come back over here and let's have a look. Which one do I want to use? So I'm going to go in here. And my internet is doing weird stuff today, so hopefully it will work okay. We'll see in a minute. If not, I'll use my backup plan. But any questions about this so far from anybody? If not, I'm going to keep going through it. So, all right, here we go. So homepage generator. So come through and I'll use that one. So now all we want to do is go and get your site, all right? Come over here and go, let's work on our, so I could type properly, our H1 and H2 for our site, right? Here's the site. So it will just start asking you a whole bunch of questions. So just for context quickly, you guys can all go to this URL here. Like you go to AI.eCommerce Circle, have a look at it. You'll see a demo and so forth. So let's go through this process together, Francis. You're welcome to come off mute if you want. So just click the red button again, and we'll start answer. I'll ask questions and you answer them. And this is the same exercise everybody needs to do. So what do you think is the most important unique selling proposition that you've got when it comes to selling a product to a customer? Don't just say things like it's natural, it's organic. No, it's like, what is the superpower that it's got?
I think the superpower is its stamina, its staying factor. The balms sit on the skin like all day, and that's due to the beeswax.
And it sits on the skin all day. What is the outcome that it gets you though?
So it locks in moisture, but also it allows the skin to breathe, where there's very little surface applications that do that, lock in the moisture and the oils that you're applying, and but allow the skin to breathe as well.
So does normal stuff not do that?
No, it doesn't. You put a strap on your feet, you dry cracked heels, and it's off on your socks, or it's no, it just doesn't stay on.
Oh, right.
or the
Okay.
skin,
Yeah.
or it drinks up, the skin takes it in, or something, but and then the arms, say your skin arms look dry and scaly again in, a matter of minutes. They can,
so I need
or
to put on
10
my
minutes.
tattoos. Need some for my tattoo, Francis. Make it all
Oh,
look nice and
definitely.
fresh and invigorated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So number two, what product will be front center, for example? So it's going to be this, right? So it's this one, I assume. So it's a calm and soothing, that thing potential. Or has another.
Well, the three, it's valuable in the three products. I'd say where it's most valuable is in the heel balm and the dry irritated skin balms. The other two.
All right, cool.
It's just as important in the itch one because the itch cream stays in place to stop the itch.
Okay. All right. Now, who's our target customer? So let's go deep on them. So male and female, I'm assuming, like it's not right, just one person. Is there an age that's perfect for this?
Well, I'm, I find the perfect age is like 45 and over.
But plus, where they got money usually, so that's good. Yeah.
No, their skins are just more in need. They've got drier and more weathered skin.
Their skin is a bit more older. Got it. Your audio has just gone funny, Francis. Oh God, tonight's going well so far. Hang on, we're back. No, we're not back. Not sure what you did. All right. We'll keep trying.
Someone phoned in. Oh, I don't know how to make them stop phoning in.
Just yell at them. Just be like, hey, I'm on the internet with my friends. Stop calling me. So, all right. So skin is a bit older. That's fine. Whatever. Have you got any verifiable proof at the moment? Do you have like reviews from people? Have you been doing it?
I've got customer, plenty of customer reviews.
How many reviews would you have?
Well, I've only just started collecting them a little while ago. So I've got, when I say plenty, I sort of reached out and sort of asked people that I knew were using each product. So I've only got 2 for each product that are, that are usable. Because I've only, as I said,
we'll park that
collecting them.
Yeah. We don't want to say you got 6 reviews. That doesn't sound very great at the moment. So
no, because I've only just started collecting them. I've never needed them till now.
How much is the product? It is $20. Is that right? Roughly $9, $10. Like,
and it goes up to the 50 mil. It goes up to.
All right, we're going to start here. So, and I've got some other ideas as well, right? So, let's see where this takes us. So it's a bit light on. Like normally this would take us much longer to do this, and I'm going to just get into it. So, but you can see what this is doing, right? So now Australian made beeswax skin, the product focus is the trio, unique selling proposition is that, who we're targeting, blah, blah, final clarification is needed. So it's made in Australia, right? Is that correct? Give us a nod or
made in Australia, yes.
Still made in Australia. No reviews yet to it, are we? Yes, our site can do a sub headline. That's fine. Just for context too, I have like 3 different GPTs in here that all do this slightly different. So once you jump in and you all start using it, you'll go, oh, wow, heaps of options. So let's get into this. And I want to say this as well. When we do this for a brand that like is a big brand, like we have a monster Google sheet. Think of an Excel sheet that we go through. It's got like 60 tabs and it's got like 500 questions in it. So that's what separates a really big brand doing this properly. And you end up with the kind of thing that's like, Nike Just Do It, or like Yeti and whatever those kind of monster brands do, right? So it takes a long time to do this properly. And it's not just like, hey, buy our beeswax on the internet or whatever, right? So let's go back here and have a look at what we've got going on. So go back to the top. There we go. So all day relief for dry aging skin. So I don't love it. Give myself like a 3 out of 10. However, immediate, or you go, yeah, all day relief for dry aged skin, like it sounds better. People are going to read that and they're going to go, yes, right? Or comfortable in your skin, again, people are going to go, yes, right? Australian made balms for real results. All of these things, people are reading them and they're going, yes. Smooth cracked skin before winter hits, yes. Cracked heels, get protection all day long. So there's tons of different H1s, right? I wrote one on my other screen that I had something along the line of like natural beeswax balm for dry, hardworking skin. Right. So if you target people and you're like, hey, if you work hard, like we've got the perfect product for you, and they'll go, yes, that's me. Right. So we've kind of got lots of variations of your H1 sorted now. Now we need the H2 as well. Right. So do that. It'll do the same thing. It'll take everything that it knows about your website and it'll go, what's going to say, what are we going to say here that sounds better than that? So let's have a look. There's a couple already. So as it finishes scrolling. So our Australian-made beeswax balm locks in moisture with a breathable barrier, leaving your skin soft and never greasy. So again, if I come back to your website and I read that, I go, yes. And I read the next thing, I go, yes. I go, it's all sounding fantastic at the moment, right? So I've got a few yeses and I got a few yeses. And most importantly, those words that I've used in there have what we call Google search volume. That means people actually go to Google and they actually search for those types of phrases, because then over time, your site will appear in the Google search results. People will find you and they'll be like, oh, like thousands of people coming to Francis's site at the moment per month to buy stuff, right? So you go, great. So hopefully that's making sense to everybody so far. Now we're going to move on to the trust signals. So I'm actually going to grab this now. I'm going to download everything that I did in there. And I'm going to go back into here and we're going to do this now. Now we need to work on the trust signals for this brand. So do that, grab this, grab that, put it in here. And I will also grab the file that I just downloaded and drag it in here. So I'll upload the file. So I know a few of you are probably using, ChatGPT and stuff. Like it's good, but it's not this good. So let's do this. And you'll see as I start to build all of this out, you'll go, I see why it makes sense now. Right. So there you go. Trust signal. Which one do I want to do? Probably the first one, trust signal installer. That'll do. So again, upload the file. Cool. So now let's work on, I'm just going to cheat code this so that I blast through this quickly. Now give me like 10 trust signals. Obviously if I could type good, but trust signals for this brand, right? So you've got that, you've got this, you do that. This is where it gets a bit exciting as well. You could go, you know what, make it fun and playful, right? So it's not serious, it's not corporate, it's not whatever. So do that, go in here, give it a rest, grab some wine or whatever it is you do while you're waiting for the internet to do its stuff. So here you go, coming out good already. So again, like at the moment, you don't have any of these, right? So it's impossible to read your H1. You don't have a H2. You don't have any trust signals, all right? So come back here and we go, there you go. Aussie made and proud, no nasties, own with nature, all day comfort, no clog pores. Biodegradable packaging for a happy planet, Australian made guarantee, sensitive skins, new best mate, Like you go, so people are reading all of them now on your website and they've read your H1 and your H2 and your trust signals and they're going, yes, 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 yes. What does everyone think the next thing that people are going to do on the website? Come off mute. Anyone, if they want to. Chris, what do you think they're going to do? You've been here before.
Probably scroll down and click to the next page and maybe even buy from you.
They're going to scroll down like they would on like Zara site and be like, cool, I like what I read so far. Now I'm going to look at the product, right? Or they'll keep scrolling and they'll come down here and they'll read more trust signals there like she's got, or they'll come down here and they'll read the story here. So like quickly, I won't go through all of it, but you can come back here, dashboard, and you can go into here and you can look at like all the different things in here and you can go, there's probably a bit at the there's a GPT sitting in there somewhere that helps you write the story for the front page of your website. All right. So you know what? I'm going to actually do that. help me write the founder's story for the homepage on my website. So it'll go through and it'll find it and be like, hang on, it's in here somewhere. Give this like 2 seconds. There you go. So homepage, we did that one already. So the conversion system that Chris and I were working on the other day. So you load that up and you go, cool, it'll do that bit for you. So we'll skip that for a bit though, because I want to now go, let's assume someone was on your product page, right? So here we go. So I want to show everyone something in here because this is really important. Give you all something to kind of like aspire to. So when we build websites for someone and we do custom websites for someone, we break out, when I say we, I mean like my team, break out your website into all of these tabs. So you've got a homepage mobile, you've got a collection page mobile, you have a product page mobile, you've got the cart drawer, you've got the thank you page, you've got the checkout. So I'm going to share a little bit of this later for free, but for the purpose of this exercise, this is just the product page, right? You need all of the things that's on this product page to be enabled and working and functioning on your product page in order for your product page to convert as good as it can. So you can see there, right? We're up to 304 things. Then we go to the collection page and we go, how many are there? There's another 100. Then we go to the checkout page and there is another 70. And then we go to the home page. So the reason I'm showing you all this is because if you don't have all of these things on your page, then they don't convert as good as they can, right? So this is the big reason why people go, I'm sending traffic to my website and like on here, for example, I'm like, well, there's no reviews. There's no information about shipping. I can't really see about returns. I can only see one product photo at the moment. I can't see any trust signals on this page. Like, it's confusing as heck at the moment, right? Even if I looked at like Zara's website and I go to her product page and it's good, right? But like she built this website using one of our products called the Converter Kit. But like even then, there's still a lot more that she could do. So for example, like she's got beautiful photos. She's got 2 reviews. She's got Shop Pay turned on. She's got more payment options. You can't see the shipping information on here. There's no short description on the page. So because she's lacking a few of those things as well, and I will say, like, she's already making sales and doing well. So she's now chipping away at it and using my sheet and going, as she gets time, she adds more stuff to the site, right? But you don't have like hardly any of it. So why that's an issue is because, like Chris said, as people come to your website, let's assume 100 people come to your website and like one person converts, right? That's bad. Like it should be 3, 4, 5, 6% or something, right? Like we work with brands that go up to 9%, you know, some more. Like average is 3, 4, 5. So I want to show you an example of why this is such a big issue so that everyone goes, I get it, and why I should like be very focused on fixing this issue first. So I'm actually going to load up my ChatGPT and I'm going to show you how terrible I am at maths because I suck at maths. But here's what we're going to do, right? So I'm going to pick a random person on the call. So who would like to share some numbers with me that has a little bit of traffic going to their website at the moment? Is anyone getting 1,000 visitors a month to their website at the moment on the call? Or 500 or anything like that? Not sure. All right, let's do this then, right? So I'm going to talk. ChatGPT is going to listen. You guys get to watch what goes on here. So I'm going to pick Andrew. He'll do. So I'm working with a guy called Andrew. I have no idea what Andrew sells. Let's assume Andrew sells black hats. So Andrew gets 1,000 visitors to his site monthly at the moment, right? His current conversion rate is 1%. His average order value is $47. How much money does Andrew currently make with the traffic that comes to his website? So all I've done at the moment, 1,000 people coming to Andrew's site and his conversion rate's 1% and his average order value, which means on average, that means that he's got like, that's how much they're spending, right? When they come to the site. So terrible result at the moment, 1%, like $470 a month. So
Paul,
now
is this, sorry, I just see the beeswax website. Is that me or is that supposed
Yeah,
to
we can't see GPT, Paul.
Oh,
Just the beeswax.
right. Okay, hey, that's good.
Can't follow along.
follow along. All right, here we go. Go again. So here is the math that I was explaining. I know what happened then. So 1,000 visitors come to his website a month, 1% convert, $47, right? So he makes $470 a month. Like, go get a job. Like, that's terrible, right? So now all we're going to change is two things. And I want to, before I say that, like, when I change two numbers here, the reason I can change these so well is because, like, if we just fix his conversion rate and we just fix his average order value, I'm going to show you what happens. All right. So, all right. Now let's assume Andrew's conversion rate is 5.5% and his average order value is $127. How much money does Andrew now make per month in his business? And also, if Andrew leaves the numbers like they were versus Andrew gets these new numbers working, over the course of the next 2 years, whilst Andrew is in business, can you tell me how much more money Andrew will make from his website purely by fixing those things? And that's before he's fixed his email and his meta ads and his Google ads and everything else. He's only getting people to buy more stuff and converting the 1,000 people that come per month, like, higher. So what is the new number per month and what is the new number that he will make over the course of 2 years? Everyone following along what we're doing here? Hopefully we've got like a maths teacher and they're like, good job, Paul. Like, impressive exercise. So, all right, there you go. Started off with $470 a month, right? So he makes $5,600 a year. Over 2 years, he makes $11,000, right? Average, he gets like 55 orders per month. But now with the new numbers, over the course of 2 years, Andrew makes $167,000. Right? And all we fixed was his conversion rate and how much stuff they purchased. All right. So $6,000 a month, 80 grand a year, blah, blah, blah. You can see the difference, like $156,000. Right. So I meet a lot of people when they come to us and they go, hey, Paul, like, $1,000, $2,000 to get some help to fix my website. It's a lot of money. And I'm like, well, I would much rather be making $156,000 over 2 years than making whatever else it was up here, like, a terrible number, $11,000, right? So I can't stress this enough. Please make sure you nail your story, right? And we kind of touched on it briefly, right? And we didn't even go to the level where I'm like, hey, go back into the platform. And now that we've nailed the story for your website in here, and I'll share my screen again, and we're going to do this exercise. Take some of that story there, go over here, click on promotion, and when I go down there and go, you know what, write me an ad from my brand, right? So you go, hey, I want to write an ad that talks about everything that we've just spoken about. So again, I come over here and I grab this, and this will be like the quickest version that you've ever seen someone write an ad, right? Only because like time is of the essence. So write me a Facebook ad based on this stuff. And this is a terrible prompt. Like, you should be prompting this way better than I am. Let's see what it says though. So the reason I'm saying this as well is super important, that once you nail your story on your website, you also need to nail your story in your ads. You have the same story when you go to a market. You have the same story in an email. You have the same story when Frances gets interviewed by someone on the telly and she starts talking and she says this stuff, right? And then people go, I heard her say that on her website, and now I'm going to go, I seen it in the ad. Now I'm going to go to our website, and then what a beautiful website Frances has got. She's obviously met Paul Warren before, and now I'm going to convert, right? So you can see this, dry, cracked, or aging skin, driving you mad. Most balms just sit on the surface. Ours actually stay put. Like, and again, this is like a 2 out of 10. Like, if we spent time doing this and you answered the questions properly, you'd crush this, right? So the reason I'm showing this again, I know there's a lot of ladies on here that go, I'm probably not the most techie person. Now you are, right? You use this. Don't tell your kids and your grandkids you're using this. And they'll be like, Mom, Nan, how the hell are you doing that? You're like, a weapon. And you just like, it's a secret. So please use it, right? So now the next thing that I'll probably do here for Frances would be to actually map out a bit of a plan of the order that you need to do this in. So I'm going to bring up my whiteboard, and then hopefully this works. Here we go. Click this, presenting. Always got to remember to click presenting and not collaborating, or people will start drawing on my screen and stuff. So let's clear this out. So Chris, you can see the screen.
Yeah, good
yeah. All right. So this is called a fast path plan. The reason it's called a fast path plan because it's the fast way that you do stuff to actually map out what you need to do and the order that you need to do it in. So many Chris's. Correct. You can never have too many Chris's. So now, however, I'll go out on a limb here and I'll say that probably 90% of you are probably going to be in the exact same order that Francis is in. So let's assume, you know what, I won't even go to like 360 because this is the day range, right? 90 days, 180 days, 20, whatever. You don't need to worry about that. Let's just stay here. So number one thing that you want to do is everybody has got to fix your story. It's going to say lots of S's, but anyway. So fix your story, use the command center. You probably fix your story in like a week. Those of you that are really good on the computer will fix it in about 24 hours, right? So at the same time, then you want to come along and fix your site, right? Number two, you want to have a homepage that converts as good as it can, product page, collection page, cart page, checkout page, da. Again, super easy process. We've got a product that we can tell you that fixes that problem. Then you start getting excited and you go, all right, now I've got a good story. Now I've got a good website. Now what does my digital strategy look like? All right. So then the three S's, right? So this is the beautiful triangle that Chris did at the top. So it's like store, story, strategy. Look at that triangle. Perfect. So now we come over here and then you go, I've now got to get customers to my website, right? So for as little as like $5, $10 a day, you can come along and you can go, you know what? I can build out a campaign on meta ads, right? And you can go, I can build an ad. I can use Paul's command center to build the ad. And I'm going to send traffic to my website because it's going to say the right thing. It's going to go to a store that's built to convert. And now I have a strategy and I go, great, spend $5. Every time I put $5 in, I get back like, you know, $50. Happy days. I put $100 in, I get $500. I put more in, da. This is the reason we work with brands that go, you know, they spend 10, 20, 30, 40 millions a month, right? Or whatever on their budget. And then they get what they're getting back, right? Is this making sense to everybody? So I won't go too much further in this because I'm mindful there's probably like a lot of beginners on here, but like the only other real missing pieces that you are missing in this is like setting up your email stuff properly. So now, if someone doesn't buy here for some reason, then the only other thing you got to do, go get yourself what's called a Klaviyo account. Klaviyo is like an email platform. So if people don't buy, then you just follow them up with what we call abandoned cart emails. So like, hi, it's Miriam here. You didn't buy. Here's a coupon. Hey, it's Francis here. I wanted to share our brand story. Hey, it's Kyla here. Here's a review that Tiff gave me. Hey, it's Deb here. Like, did you know that we've got a bundle? Blah, 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 blah. Like 6, 7, 8 emails until they buy stuff, right? So as long as all of you have a good product, right, and of which we've got something I can show you that helps you make sure you've got a good product, these are the only things that you need to focus on at the moment, right? Oh, and obviously making sure your product works and it's good and so forth. Does this make sense? We might throw to some questions here if I can just give my voice a break before it just like dies.
Yeah,
Chris V, do you want to add any comments?
Do I want to add comments to that? No, I think you've covered just about everything. I think it's important to note for everyone who's coming in at a different stage. Like that's kind of what Paul was saying. Like for those of you who don't have products, awesome. You're starting in the place where we got to figure out like what is a good product, which we can definitely help you with what you mentioned before. But also, if you do have a product, these are the things that we see brands who are scaling that are struggling. They mess these things up. We see people who try and start a store from the very start without any real guidance. They completely skip these things. And this is exactly what happens when people look, it's the whole I don't know what I don't know when people get into this. And what that usually ends up meaning is people will kind of get the wrong info, run ads to a website that's not going to convert. You get kind of disenfranchised and you feel like this isn't going to work out for you. And this is exactly why Paul's created this, is because these are the frameworks. And again, we're not here to like tell you you should do e-commerce, but if you want to do e-commerce, you already know this, then it's simply, this is just giving you the frameworks that we already help people with. So you can kind of do it for yourself and do it right from the start. So if you ever really taking this seriously, you do it in that order to save yourself time and pain from making mistakes. Because that's a lot of the time, that's what kills momentum with smaller brands that are starting is like you try, and you mess up, you spend money, you get nothing back, and then you give up. So
Yeah.
that's what we're all about, skipping. But we do have a couple of questions there, Paul.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Natasha asked, like, I mean, this is a good question because it is very relevant and will probably be relevant for a while, with all the fuel crisis and what's happening overseas. Obviously, this does affect 3PL, manufacturing, all that kind of things. What have you seen for our brands, and how do you think it's going to affect it moving forward?
Say that again. You cut out at the end there. What did you say at the end?
What have you seen with our brands so far, and how do you think it's going to affect it moving forward? Is it worth it to run an e-commerce business?
Absolutely. We have these people making tons of cash in there. Don't get me wrong, it's hard. Like there's plenty of people doing it tough if you have a crap product. If you have a bad store and a bad story, it's hard. Right? If you have a good store and a good story and a good product, people are always going to buy stuff. Like as simple as that. People always need, like if we run around the room, right? So we've got someone in here that sells car fragrances. Everyone always wants their car to smell good. Everyone always has dry skin. Everyone always wants to buy wine. Everyone always wants to buy jewelry. All right. So trying to rattle off the ones that I can remember that Chris shared. Yeah. But like, there's a reason you go to Woolies and a bottle shop, they sell wine. You go to Woolies, they sell skincare products. You go to anywhere and you can buy a hat, right? So like, for example, as Samantha already seen, she shared a great story about, hey, I'm a mum helping my son sell hats on the internet for a purpose, right? I know I ordered 3 in a minute, like, and everyone else was ordering hats and so forth. So I'm like, you just got to pour fire on that thing and tell a better story. Like, I'm an e-commerce coach, for God's sakes. Like, I'm on the internet coaching people how to grow e-commerce businesses, and I have hundreds of people that I work with. Like, why do you think people work with me? They go, well, he's got a good story. He's authentic. He helps people. He's got proof, right? You guys need to do the same thing, right? So not because I'm bloody handsome. That's Chris's role, right? So,
I think a good point is that you said, like, yeah, it gets harder. Yeah, of course, things are always going to happen. It's going to make it harder, and it's an easy out to say, oh, look, economy is no good. I can't give this a shot. All it means is that people are still spending money and still buying things. It might be less, but there's still people spending money, and it's just you got to give a reason for them to spend money with you rather than the other competitors, which is what Paul's pretty much getting at here.
Well, one of the best times, what's that quote from Buffett? Like, when everyone's fearful, it's like invest. Whatever it is.
Best time to invest is when there's blood in the streets.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
best time to buy.
Yeah, best time to buy when there's blood in the streets. Like, no better time to start a business. Because once it turns around, who's going to kick us? Like, the people who started. Who's going to suffer at the end of this shit that's going on in the world? People who don't do anything.
Yeah.
All right. And they're just like, I'll just wait. I'll just wait until it all gets good. Because it's always going to get good, right? It goes up, it goes down, it goes up. Like, I'm 45. I don't know how old some of you guys are, but it doesn't stay bad forever, So, I mean, some people on this call probably be like, hey, my parents are in the war and shit. Like, it's not going to get much worse than that, So, I can't really,
Absolutely.
Rod said war's been around forever. Some people are scared. Some people shrug and move on.
That's natural. That's natural, though. But like in the end, like competitiveness, you have to compete, and the way to compete is to do things better. And that's kind of like our whole thing here is we're just going to give you what works.
Obviously, there's a mindset stuff component involved in all of that, where you just you can just go, yeah, it's really hard, and everyone's going, it's really hard, and then everyone's complaining and da da da. But there's a reason you're here on a coaching call on a Wednesday night on your own time, because you're like, well, I'm not like the rest of the people out there, I want to do something good. Yeah. So, and I'll say one thing, like a big thing that we pride ourselves in the community is if you were selling a bad product, like one of the first things that we would do in the first week, I might stop selling that thing. And then the smart people go, what should I sell? And I said, well, what are you passionate about? And they go, these 3 things. I said, sell them instead. Right. The last thing I want to do is people that are committed to building a brand that have started off on the wrong foot and are selling something wrong, I'm like, change that quickly, because I hold the belief that every person should have a business where they have a skill set where they can sell things. And e-commerce is obviously one of the best ways to do that. You do it from your home, you can do it whatever, so enables everybody to get some passive income and so forth. And well, not passive, you got to work for it to make it, but like everybody should have that skill set. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Like we have people like Rod's in our community. Rod, how old are you? You're 80 the other day or something. He's in there having a crack, trying to, doing stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it's never too late to start.
And Colonel Sanders was 70 when he started KFC, wasn't he?
There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Mel's asked, is the AI platform, is it intuitive? As in, like, will it learn your business and update its memory as you go?
Yeah, it will. So we're building it so it like interconnects across everything as we move forward. And then it'll also have deployable skills, which will be an even better thing. So that's all coming in the roadmap as well.
Yeah, this is something that literally, just so you know, Paul, he works on this every single day. Like, you kind of got to pull him away from his computer to stop working on it. So he's always adding like new things to it. So more and more features on that. And we had another, I think we had another one from the.
Yeah, we'll do images too very soon. So it's already integrated into OpenAI. So it could, but if you just want to generate an image, I'd rather you just use OpenAI to generate your images because it's expensive on credits. So, but it integrates with OpenAI, which is ChatGPT and Claude and a few others that we're building into it as well.
Yeah.
I was born at the end of the war. There we go. Cool.
Natasha, what's your opinion on print on demand? Could it be a good place to start and then see what products sell best and then find supply to print for them?
Yeah, we've got a couple in the community. They sell T-shirts, like hilarious T-shirts. And their whole business is print on demand. I'm not sure whether, I think they're doing like $6 or $7 a month or something. They would tell you, but their whole business model is like T-shirts to a very unique audience, and they never see the product. They ship it out. These guys have even like now started like helping other people with their Shopify sites and stuff. They learned so much in our community. So they run their own business and now they're doing other things, helping other people. So, and I say that to people as well, right? So nothing wrong with learning how to start your own e-com business and then stealing all the skills from me and then selling the skills, like the new skills that you've got, to other people. So take that as you wish, but like I would highly recommend that you do this. What was the next question?
Yeah, Reese is asking, just generally, like, is it preferable, obviously, starting, thinking of products, is it better to sell in the high ticket space, like $100 plus for an item, or on the lower ticket space around $50? What's the pros and cons?
You need to sell a product that is 4 times what you pay for it after all of your costs. That's the number one thing, right? So if you buy something and it's like, once it's landed in the country and all the costs and all that other stuff are sorted out, say it's $50, you go, I'm going to be able to sell that for like $200. So you can profitably run ads on that thing. So there is not a rule on high ticket and low ticket. So, for example, I have a client that sells $700,000 a month of like pool fencing products, right? Very expensive. And then we have clients that sell,
protein,
like $60. I'm thinking of another brand who sells a product that keeps your fruit and veg fresher in your fridge. I think she did $250,000 or something last month off that product. Yeah. So, and then everything in the middle, like anything can go. So I don't say there's a rule, right?
Yeah. So I think it's a good thing to say as well. Like anyone who tells you hard and fast, this is the only way to do things, is I just don't think being genuine. Like there's a lot of business models that work. Like some people drop ship, some people make their own products. Like we showed you Karen before makes her own teacups. That's completely fine. Jane, the other lady, she drop ships her products. It's just that she makes sure that they are of good quality. Some people have their own manufacturing warehouses in Australia.
Some people don't. Some people leverage other like warehouses. Like what you realize about in the space is a lot of people are out there pitching the thing that they know, and it's like with one thing. So some guru comes into the space and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to teach you a drop shipping course," right? And they do that because that's all they know. They can't teach you anything else. Or someone's run meta ads for 5 minutes and they're being successful, right? So they'll teach you meta ads. Whereas we are like all encompassing, teach everything. So. Chris, we might go back to the next bit about like, these amazing things that we should be introducing these people to. Where do you want to go from here? So
I was going to ask, I think today we might just talk about connecting the platform. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, cool. I can do that if you want.
Yeah, go from the nail.
Bring up some slides. If you've got some slides, that's all good. So
I think we have them ready to just go on the just go on the AI website. I reckon bring that up.
Yeah, cool. All right, chuck the link in. So we'll do two. Yeah. We'll do 2 things. All right. So first off, so for everybody on the call, I I've already spoken about what our command center is, right? And I showed briefly what it is, and this thing is getting better and better and better every day. So I know because people telling me, they're like, oh my God, it's amazing, right? So all you need to do, go here, ai.ecommercecircle.com.au, go. At the moment, there's 166 GPTs in there. There's like another 30 going in like in the next couple of days, but you'll go and you'll go, all right, I can see this is how I use it. Here is all the cool stuff that it does, right? So Chris and McQueen and I, we break out ecom brands into like the 10 Ps, right? And me and Chris Vallado and I get on calls and we talk about all this stuff to people. So you don't need me to like go deep into all this, but like this thing is like absolute game changer. Go, you can buy it $25 a week. You can buy it for $97 a month, or it's $1,000 lifetime access. I would highly recommend you grab the lifetime access in case I put the price up, because I may do that in the future. But use this 24 hours a day. It's the equivalent of like sitting at my kitchen table with me, asking me questions and getting an answer on a specific thing for your specific business, right? So number one, that's that. Second thing is going to go over here, ecommercecircle.com.au. So I was going to log out of this for a second, but because I'm logged into the site.
I'm going to bring up some slides, Paul, for Connect, if you're okay with it.
No, it's all good. Yeah. So go over here, right? This is the ecommercecircle.com.au website. You can click testimonials and you can see lots of ladies in our community, similar age bracket to yourself is on there, and men as well, right? But short version is, so we do 5 live calls a week inside of the community here. So for example, on Tuesday, I did like an SEO call that went for 2 hours. Then next week I do a conversion rate call. Then Wednesday there's a meta ads call and a Google ads call. And then Thursday there's a brand call and an email call. And then Friday there's another call. There is hundreds of recordings in the recording channel that you can go and watch. So if you're shy, quiet, and so forth, just go watch that, right? You're going to learn everything you need to know. And like I said, you can just sit in the background. It's on Zoom, exactly like this, right? You don't need to go to every call. Come to the call that you're interested in, learn stuff, right? So even worst case, go here, right? Quick start. You can see it's going to shoot you over to the checkout page and it'll look like this, right? You go, cool, I want to try it for a month. Try it, right? Most people sign up for a month. They get great access. They learn everything. So we do all this stuff inside of an app that's called Slack. Slack is just like Messenger. So if anyone uses Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or anything like that, you can use our system, like super easy to use. So they're the 2 things that you need from us now, right? So Command Center and Connect. So that's where you get coaching 24 hours a day and coaching like from real people. Now, sorry, Chris.
No, I was going to say that like one of the biggest reasons why we do this workshop in general is because there's a lot of people like yourself out there who do want to do this seriously and do want to grow an e-commerce business. And like I talk to most people who register for these things and beyond that, and people are just scared of who to trust and who to work with. There's so much information out there. Like who do you when you go to invest into your education and bettering yourself, it's like, who do you go with? The reason we do this workshop is because we found that, and like we really hated that people had to keep taking risks with other people and were always unhappy. So we're like, look, we're just going to put ourselves out there for an hour every week, bring people around and just show you genuinely like this is what we do. This is kind of like an idea of us in our strategies and how we do them, and show you some brands that we're working with. And then after this, we just go, look, if this is something you are already committed to, like you want to do this, we try to make it as easily accessible as possible, which is why that $97 a month price tag is the way it is. It's like this call. If you liked it, you found this helpful, what you get in the circle is like Paul said, we do minimum 5 of these a week, but then there's less marketing. Obviously, we got to do a lot of marketing in these events. It's just all good stuff, breaking down the different areas of e-commerce that Paul's been spending how many years of your life learning. And like the whole point is, so you don't go out there, you don't go waste your money on old ideas or things that don't work, or just throwing things at the wall and hoping they stick. We're just going to give you, this is what works for us and for all the brands that we work with. Go do it and give it your best crack, kind of thing. That's what I'm saying.
So, ultimately as well, the reason I do this is because I wish I had have found myself a long time ago when I was trying to figure all this stuff out, right? And then secondary to that, there are obviously competitors in the space, right? But two things that they do. They try to charge you thousands of dollars a month and they give you way less than we give you. And then they lock you into a 12-month contract. And then you get to the end of your 12 months and you go, I spent 20 grand with these jokers trying to build a business, right? And you got nowhere. So I had like just 4 new messages just yesterday in the community, right? Because you got to keep in mind, we do this workshop, we run ads, we do heaps of stuff. People are filling up our community from all different angles. And they go, hey, I was in this community and I spent like 18 grand with them and I never got any help on a call. I never got any one-to-one. I never got anything, and I've been in your community for 2 weeks and I've now like know exactly what I need to do. And I'm like, I'm A, pissed off that I spent all that money, and B, I'm stoked that I know that I'm in the right place. And C, some of these people like, oh, I went and caught up with other people in the community that are local to me. And like, it's great. I'm making friends offline as well, right? So our goal is to stop that stuff happening with all the other clowns in the space, put you on the right path and do it as cheaply as possible so that all these other people have a real hard time existing, if I'm being perfectly honest, because they shouldn't be out there coaching you guys, right? Because they're telling you stuff that is just like, what's a word that I should use? Parasites. They're like, oh, here's Frances. We figured out Frances has got 10 grand in her bank account. We're going to try and get all of that and sell her a dream, and like nothing's going to happen, right? And that's the unfortunate thing that happens in this space. Whereas we're like, it's only $97 a month. We want you to be successful as you can, right? So sure, in the future, Frances comes back and go, hey guys, I've worked with you for 12 months now. I love you all. Like, I do want to build a custom website or And we go, yeah, sure. This is how that process works, right? But the rest of the space in Australia is pretty interesting. It's a wild, wild west, unfortunately, because anyone who's got a laptop can call themselves an e-commerce coach, right? So hope you enjoy my TED talk here and see what I'm all about with this. So,
awesome. Maybe we just go through like some questions again, questions and answers. I know we've still got 20 something people in here, so I appreciate all of your time. I do hope this was helpful, but look, guys, this is your chance. You got us here on a call. Is there anything that you'd like to ask us about anything we've gone through, anything about the circle or anything like that? This is your chance. Otherwise, we'll probably
just to start picking a few people. I know Reese, I was chatting to Reese last night on Instagram. So I know Reese has already signed up to another program. We have heaps of people that were in a program or exiting a program. You can do both, right? It's like, it's not a marriage. You know what I mean? Like you can that's what it is, but it's more of think of it, you're in a sports club over there and that sport club is just like a bit shit. I'm going to join Paul's sport club, right? And then go, kick footy over here and kick footy over there. And I go, well, I figured out they're better. Yeah, you can cancel anytime. Natasha, just click email us, unsubscribe, or you go to the portal and you click unsubscribe, no lock-ins. Obviously, unless you subscribe for a year and then you're committed to a year, but month to month, you can do whatever you want on both platforms.
Yeah. And actually, another thing when it comes to like a lot of people, when they're making a decision, they're scared of like, can I commit the time to it? And like the only real answer here is that, guys, regardless, if you want to build a business, it is going to take time. But the key for us is like when we understand most people who we work with, they have full-time jobs, they got kids, they're maybe already running a business like a brick and mortar business, and the online is a new thing. So you don't have much time. Like regardless, what I'm getting at is you don't have much time. And our thing is we're not going to just give you reams of homework to do that we know it's not going to be possible. For us, our whole thing is we condense the time it takes for you to get success. And the way we do that is just by giving you what works. So when you do start working your business, you're not having a guess. You're actually just doing a proven process and getting it done properly for your brand. So if you feel like you don't have the ability to commit, I'm going to seriously challenge you on that. We have people like I mentioned, like Jade before. She does it. She's built this entire business with like the 1 hour she gets between putting kids to bed and then her going to sleep.
So don't think of this as like a school, right? Because like school, you have to go and sit through 6 boring classes a day, and you got to go there for whatever 7 years or 6, whatever, high school. Like our thing is like I kind of explain it like a university. I never went to university, but my dream of what a university would be like, I'd be like, I want to go to the woodworking class now, and then I want to go to the PE class, and then I want to go to the computer hacking class, and I go. And then that's it. I'm going to go chill out for the rest of the day, right? So effectively,
you never went to university.
You know, right? So that's why we built this, because I'm just like, say for example, I'm talking about, I don't know, like Francis. I'm like, Francis, you just got to fix your website. And she go, okay. So just go to the website call for a bit, for a couple of weeks until you've got that figured out, and go to Chris's brain call. Just fix those two things. Obviously, if you've got free time, go hang out on some of the other calls, but like go to those calls when you're ready. Like we have people that come in all guns blazing for like 2 months and go to everything. And I'll go to them. I'm like, mate, I've seen you on a few calls now. How you going? And they're like, I've got 600 pages of notes. And I said, that's good. I said, but I just reckon you should just do these things. And they go, all right, so what should I do? Can I not come to calls? You can come to calls if you want, but just finish these things first. And then we'll go back and we'll do the next thing. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, that sounds good, right? So please don't feel obligated to come to everything. I know you got kids and families and dogs and all that sort of shit, like, so.
Melissa has said she's just astounded that the price is in AUD. Yeah, look, like we're an Australian business. Obviously, we mainly only work with Australians and people from New Zealand.
No, only Aussies. I don't think we've got any Kiwis in there at the moment. It's all Aussies. It's like literally just.
We had a couple. So just Aussies. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, so in that sense, we charge everything.
Oh, we got James Cash out. James, shout out to James. James is an Aussie that's lived in, from America, but like we call him one of our own. Yeah. Now he's been in Australia for ages. So.
Rod's got a nice shout out. Thank you, Rod. And Natasha, all the workshops live of these recording. They're all live during the day, but then obviously all the recordings you get available as well. So like Jade, for example, she would just catch the recordings because she can't make it during the day. And that's fine. And what you can actually do in the meantime, like if you still want to ask questions, well, we have the actual community on Slack that Paul mentioned. Again, that's just a forum where you have all the other members who are hanging out there. And if you have a question and you can't make it, you just ask it. And then our coaches hang out there. They'll answer you. The other brand owners who are also doing what you want to do, they'll answer you. So there's plenty of ways to get help in there. Natasha?
I'll show you what it looks like, just in case people go, what does Slack look like? So let me just get up a good channel, just in case, I don't know, like we have some interesting members and they send you random weird stuff every now and then. So, all right, so here's a general channel. All right, so this is what's called the Slack application. So you see here, for example, like this is one of our inner circle members. She's wherever she is. They're at a zoo. Here's some members catching up at a retail fest recently. Here's how you get notified when a call is on. Here is, we shared a document there. Here's all the other channels, right? So you see, like, here is an AI channel, and here is a brand strategy channel, and here is a, whatever. Like, here's a Google Ads channel and a Meta Ads channel, and you can see all the chats. People are generating images and da-da-da. Come over here, and we've got, where's, like, the recordings channel up there? You go, hey, guys, here's recordings. Like, just go watch whatever you want to watch, all right? You forgot about the course platform, Chris. So we also have a course platform, as if that wasn't enough already, but we give you a Meta Ads course, a brand course, a conversion rate course, a creative course, all for free as well. As soon as you log in, you get access to all of that stuff too, so that if you do want to run your own ads, you know how to do that too.
Product course? Did you say product course?
Not in this. No, that's something different. So
yeah, gotcha. And the reason we do the courses anyway, guys, is just so if you're brand new and you need to get up to speed with something, you got a course, you go smash through that. They're like an hour long, and then you have like a base level understanding of that topic. Then you can come to the call and you can just understand what's going on a lot better. Gumshi, I wish I knew if that is how I'm pronouncing the name, or how much information / website help do you cover in a month subscription? Well, you get access to all the calls, mate. You can come to as many of those conversion rate calls as you like, ask questions as much as you like. You get the conversion rate blueprint course. If you get the AI as well platform, you can ask that as much as you like to help with your website. You get quite a lot of help for that price. Quite a lot.
Heaps. Yeah. Someone just asked, how do I buy the command center? So can you see my screen? Yeah. Francis, click that link up the top that says get access. Can you see that there?
Everybody, I'm going to drop it in chat as well. So
these things are like the page, and then you just go, all right, I want to buy it. So which one do I do? So you can buy weekly, or you can do whatever, and you can grab that.
Okay, thank you.
There you go.
Links there, and I'll relink the e-commerce circle again as well.
I think I noticed an issue on the e-commerce circle when starting Connect. It wasn't working for some reason. Oh yeah, it was. So yeah. So like, make sure you read the pages that I'm sharing here. It explains everything as well, and what you get and what you don't get. there isn't really any what you don't get. there's a lot of what you do get. So one thing Chris and I like to do at this point in time is also ask you guys that are still here, go, like, just be honest with me and go, well, what if you were to buy both of those two things, you know, what are you most afraid of happening? So anyone who hasn't come off mute so far, like, you know, please feel free to put your comment in the box, you know, like, I don't know, you can be anything that comes to mind. You can be like, pay you $97 a month for when I never see you again, or whatever, something, I don't know. Or maybe I can't do it, or like throw them in there and we'll answer your questions.
Natasha's just asked it, and it's probably good clarification if they're two separate products.
Yeah, two separate products, yeah. So one is Command Center, one is Community. The reason we do that is because some people like hanging out in the community. Some people like just the DIY stuff and they like to use the Command Center. Some people like to do both, right? So not everyone wants to be part of a membership community. Not everyone wants to use the AI platform. So I'm like, I just separate them, right? So, and obviously like put it this way, I've spent like a lot of money building the Command Center and a lot of money building that. So it's also why I've separated it out like that too. Who else do we still have here? We've got Race. Any questions, Race? You need this, Race. You need both of these things. You'll be like, oh, I should have left those other guys ages ago. What have I been doing with my life? I would have been someone, would have quit my job already. Got Arian GMSHI is.
I spend a lot of money on courses and haven't followed through, so scared of making the same mistake. But yours looks pretty.
Oh, okay. We'll just try it for a month, Natasha.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we'll do this, right? You try it, buy both of them, and then if you go, Paul, I'm not following through again, cancel my membership for me, I'll go, no stress, I'll do it for you. Easy. So, you know.
Deb needs both.
We need both things. Awesome. And going to get them. Deb's awesome. Reese is like good. I'm watching people waiting for you to subscribe because I see the sales things come through here. So.
Paul,
yeah.
I just have a question. I mean, I'm pretty good on the computer. There's no two ways about it. I've been able to set up my Shopify shop to where it's at. Obviously, not up to scratch. But how long is it going to? How much time do you think a week? This is my only concern. Is like once I get something and get my teeth into it, I can do really well. Obviously, I work 3 days, and there's another day that's out with something. So it sounds like I can watch the videos, which is great, the videos, the things, and apply the knowledge. But I know this is going to be a real hard one to give, but actually it's probably impossible. But my only concern is that I'm going to have enough time to learn to use the prompt program. You know, it's a new program. But it also, I use ChatGPT, I use Canva, I use all of those. So
you'll be fine. So Chris spoke about Karen from Tea with Karen. Karen is 60s, right? Mid 60s. She uses it all the time. I wish she's like, sometimes she comes to these things, she's like, oh, it's lovely. Like, you know, Karen is like one of my close friends now, right? She was the client and now she's a friend and she's been to my house and she's like, Darwin, this is the best thing that I've ever used. It's better than just bloody ChatGPT on its own. And it's so easy. Yeah. And even if she gets stuck, right, we have a channel inside Slack where she's like, it gave me a funny answer, Paul. I don't know how to do this. She posts in the channel and we'll just go, do this, Karen. And she'll be like, oh, great. You know, so she'll be the first to tell you. Rod will be the second to tell you. Like, these people are like, they can do it, you know. Like, I mean, Rod's a very intelligent fella, obviously. Aren't you, Rod? But, you know, and maybe he can answer the question, right? But it's better come because he's a member. Like, you don't, Rod, how much time do you reckon you need to spend in our community? Like, please don't say like 400 hours a week or something, make it sound silly. Like, give Francis a genuine answer.
Yeah, I thought I spent
can't hear you, Rod. Sit back a bit.
Sorry, I spend an hour to 2 hours a day.
Really? That's amazing.
If that, I've got a cat that wakes me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I spend from 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock doing stuff. Watching stuff.
I'll make that out.
I spent a lot of
Yeah, right.
I spend more time on Thursdays watching these guys because I love the brand story with Chris. He does a really good job on branding. I'm an ex-branding person myself. I once upon a time used to work for an advertising agency, and I learned more from Chris than I did when I was working for the advertising
Pretty
agency.
good.
Oh, Chris is going to be gutted. He didn't hear that live. He'll have to watch this later. Don't know where he's going. He's going to watch his mustache.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
What about my calls, Rod?
It sounds exactly what I need.
The founders call on Fridays. That's an almost a must. I don't always get to make it because I've got other things happening, but I do try to make those 2 days, Thursdays and Fridays. And I always try to make Wednesday nights because it's interesting. Sometimes it goes off on a tangent and Paul starts making things for you.
Pretty much.
He made a little funnel, Lord of the Bees, in 6 minutes flat. And yeah, we've still got a little bit of work to do on it, but it's a good thing. It gets me leads. It was something I never even thought of before. So, he looked at my site and said, "That's shit. This is what you need."
Was I that rude, Rod? I'll try to be nicer next time.
Thursday, Fridays are my days off, so that sounds perfect for me.
Oh, you and Rod can hang out in the community.
Yeah, the community.
There you go. Found a new bestie.
Sounds great.
I love Karen as well. She's not here.
Oh, you and Karen chat. Yeah, she's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, Karen's good.
It's funny. We have we'll call you senior people. We have quite a whole lot of the 60s, 70s, and 80s in there. And then we got the younger crew as well. And then we got my age, middle age, whatever, boomer, whatever I'm called. So we don't have kids in there though that are kind of just trying to sell rubbish. It's just people, mums, dads, husbands, wives, people like Julian with 3 cats, just trying to build, e-com businesses and so forth. So, but I'm proud of the community that we've got and the community that helps each other as well. I find out about all these people that have got their own little friendships going on and hanging out outside of work and stuff. And I'm like, that's so cool, doing selfies together. So I don't think many other communities do that. They're all just ship you in, ship you out, take all your cash, catch you later. And we built something really unique here. And I guess I'm also very grateful that we do have such lovely people in the community, like Rod and like Karen and, the 10 coaches that we have in there,
The bad ones don't last.
What was that, Chris?
That's because we don't keep the bad, we kick out the bad ones. That's why.
Oh, yeah. We have excuse the French, I have a really strict no dickhead policy. Anyone comes in and I'm like, I don't like you, or you're annoying, or you got an ego, or you're rude, or you're not helpful, you're not for us, So, do you have any questions, Kylie or Andrew? I know you've sat there very, very patiently. Look forward to seeing you people in the community. I think, Andrew, you've been to a few of these things. So almost your time to jump in. How many? 3? 2. Okay. I think, Kylie?
I know I definitely need it. It's just finances, I guess, at the moment. Just making sure that if I do sign up that I give it the time that it needs and I guess working out how to portray my in-store service because I have a bricks and mortar store, how to portray that service that I give to the customers in-store, how to portray that, I guess, online. So that people
that's a huge thing that we do help people with because, sorry to cut you off, by the way, but we have a lot of brands that do really well at markets or do good at retail or do good at trade shows. And I say to them all the time, you've got all this traffic coming to that location, right? But when your shop's closed, then they go, oh, I couldn't go to Kylie's store today. I better go to her shop. And if your store doesn't convert and your store is not good, you're bleeding all that traffic. So you got to think about the fact that, and forgive me, I forget what you sell, but I go I had a great experience with Kylie and I go tell my friend and they go, oh, I'll go check out her website first because maybe I'm not local to Kylie or whatever. And they go, oh, not really feeling this. I've left, right? So we do a ton of work with brands like you to go, let's make your e-com experience like vastly outshine what your bricks and mortar business is, right? And that's the reason brands like Nature's Pantry, who used to tell a great story at offline events, we took that online and then we made them a beautiful website that crushes it. Now they don't do that anymore because the website did all the talking that Paul and Dwayne used to do flat out all day, every day, which is exhausting, right? I'm sure you can agree with me. You're like, my God, it's harder than ever to deal with customers. Everyone's whinging about everything they can. Just go to my website. Like, deal with that. Click the buy button, and if you don't like it, send me an email. So now more than ever, like I'm working with a lot of brands that go, I'm killing my retail shop and I'm going all in on ecom. I'm like, great idea, right? So tons of people are doing that. So
I'll quickly touch on that. Like when people struggle, like they have an in-person brand and they're trying to go online, they do well in person, but they can't make it work online. It's just because you're not taking that same experience from in person and you're not putting it online. And that's like a big thing that we teach here. It's very common theme.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Because your website should be a 24/7 salesperson that replicates you, but better than you, right?
Yeah.
Because when you do stuff in person, you do things like you portray trust, hence trust signals. You handle objections, hence your product page needs to handle objections. You personalize it. So your site needs to do personalization. You do a lot of other stuff. And you go, geez, I never even knew I did any of that stuff, Paul. It's what I do. So we got to put all of that on your website so that it does all of that for every person. Because some people come to your retail shop and maybe you forget to do the trust, or you forget to do the persuasion, or you forget to do the objection handling, or you're just feeling shit for the day. And they go, oh, slow day today in sales. And they go, and you think about it and you go, maybe it was probably me. Like I had an off day. Like a website shouldn't have an off day. Right? It should just be like grinding every day. And that's why we build systems the way that we build them. So that you can sleep, you wake up in the morning and you go, 5 orders today, 50 orders today, 100 orders today. And I'm like, now my biggest problem is I've got to pack orders and go, it's a good problem to have, right? Or I've got to go get more stock. So I'll also say that I think a lot of people in retail wait too long to solve this problem. They go, I have a finance issue problem and I'll fix it when finances are better with the retail shop. And I'm like, that's kind of like being in a relationship that is grinding to the floor and being like, hopefully it'll get better before I go and do the other thing. And I'm like, doesn't usually fix the problem. You can salvage a retail shop whilst doing an ecom business properly. And then they both go, oh, wow, great. Now we're heads above water again. So please just, take that as you wish. But I'd say that's a lot of people.
And in terms of like the investment as well, like this is exactly why, like you'll see the AI, we have if you just want to try it, you can get 7 days for $25 if you really want to. Or the e-commerce circle, it's not, you don't have to subscribe for a year. You can try it for a month. We want to make it as accessible for you to try it as low risk as possible. Well, obviously, we can't do everything for free. So, we try to make that as easy for everybody to get in there and give it a go. But we're pretty confident. Most people will jump in, they see everything that we do, and they just don't want to leave. So, I'm confident you'll have a good time in there, Kylie.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for hanging out with us.
Paul.
I'm starving, Chris.
It's dinner time.
Good. Yeah. All right. Amazing. All right. Thank you, ladies, gents, for hanging out with us. Really look forward to seeing you all in the community. Tell your friends about us if you had a good time. And I will see you all soon. All right. See you. Bye.